32 past 11. Let's get in the serious chair to talk about the NBN. We touched on it slightly last night, and I feel like I'm going to have to explain it all tonight, what's gone on recently. So this just feels more serious, even though that just happened. Crikey, I was trying to adjust these. That didn't work at all. Oh, that's harder to pick up than I thought. Alright, so that does feel a little bit more professional to talk about such distracting matters, disturbing matters. So this meeting that was called at the Culburra Beach bowling club was called by Ann Sudmalis, who is our local representative for this entire area. Now, she had the 3 members of the NBN Co come down to discuss the area, and we were hoping that we were going to have good news, but the bad news is that what they initially determined was adequate for this area in a financial sense and in the overall scheme of rolling out this high-speed internet to the whole country, this area is going to get the mixed technology fibre to the node to 2/3 of the town, and 1/3 of the town will get fibre to the curb. Now, the 1/3 is the business area, which makes sense, but then also further across from Culburra Beach is the separate community of Orient Point, and they will get fibre to the curb. Where we live, fibre to the node. Now, we already knew that, but the whole idea of all this active community consultation that Ann Sudmalis was running with was to determine if the town said, we don't think that's adequate, can we delay the process and get a fibre to the curb 100% throughout the whole town? All of that was useless, pointless. They'd already determined that no, you're getting fibre to the node, 2/3 and 1/3 curb. So all that stuff that we did was pointless, and it feels like Anne knew that, and she was just stalling. So we got delivered that news last night. In savings grace, particularly where we live right here, I'm not 100% certain, but I think we're not far from the node, which would mean if we as an individual property wanted to pay an upgrade and get fibre to the premise, we're kind of in a good position for that. Now, I asked the NBN crew where the node is at last night's meeting, yet they couldn't tell me that. They gave me a rough, sort of like an aerial shot, which couldn't drill in far. But the next step for this house and for this street, I guess, is to wait to find out where that node is and then canvass those houses around it and say, do you want to pay to upgrade this to a full fibre connection, not fibre to the curb, would run fibre all the way to the house. And the costing in that in Australia is absolutely exorbitant, but it is cheaper if you get a bunch of houses together to do that. So that's kind of where we're at. We're waiting. This is supposed to be rolled out within the works to commence within 6 to 8 weeks, and then a fully functioning minimum 25.5 high-speed internet, what did they say, by March next year. So once that happens, that's the point where we kick into gear and say, well, I'll go around the street and find out who wants to get fibre and are they willing to pay for it.